I'm so happy to see you again. Today we're going to talk about your inspections as a buyer when you're going to buy a house. I have been involved quite a few times with misunderstandings about that. You're going to hire an inspector to look at this house that you're interested in. You put an offer in on and said that you want to buy. Now, what does that mean? Um, the inspector's not trying to mislead you. Most of them are very expensive and genuinely trying to help. The problem is the inspection is designed to identify visible as defects in a single point in time. Everything outside of this scope, by definition, is outside the report. What does that mean? They follow a set of standards and generally include a visual examination of the roof, foundation, and that type of thing. But the word is visual, and they're looking to see if you need to get a roof inspector in, if you need to get a foundation expert in, if you need to get an expert in on this and dig deeper. That's what they're trying to find out. They can only report what they see visually as they go through the house. That means a significantly big part of the home is never really examined during a standard inspection. They thought, okay, it passed inspection, everything's all good. But read the inspection report, see what pops up as something that possibly could be a problem. It's the nature of the job that they're trying to do. The most issues likely to slip through, the very first one is mold and air quality. They're rarely tested in a standard inspection. They might notice visible moisture, staining, but hidden mold in walls and active cavities beneath the flooring and stuff, you need to have an independent mold assessment, and it's worth the added cost to have it done. Sewer lines are underground. He's not digging up, okay? So that's another place you could have problems. Chimney interiors, he's not crawling down the chimney either. If you have a chimney and if you have a fireplace, you need to have it inspected. Have someone come in that's dedicated chimney inspector and goes up through there and make sure that everything's good. Pest and termite damage. Sometimes it's pretty obvious. You can see it, especially here in Florida, that you need a pest inspection to come in. But other times it isn't, but it will be pointed out in this report if they see it. They don't verify permits and code compliance. That's not something they do. They're just looking for things that might be wrong in the house. They might flag it, tell you need to have that inspected, but they're not required to do so. The language of the inspection report, even when an inspector does identify a concern, like sometimes they'll use phrases like monitor this condition or a further evaluation is recommended. Professional ways of saying something may be seriously wrong. These phrases are not filler, they are flags. So if you see that in your report, that's a flag. Look into it deeper. When you see that language in a report, follow up. Ask the inspector directly what they think and what they observed and what the worst case scenario could be. Then bring in a specialist to that. How to fill in the gaps before you commit. Order a sewer scope inspection. Request a pest inspection. If the home has a fireplace, I said with the chimney inspection. Pull the permit history from your building code department, look for any additions or renovations that didn't have a permit. If there's any sign of moisture, past flooding, flooding, musty odors, consider a mold and air quality test. It is expensive added cost, but you want to find out now or later. It's that simple. I have had clients that, even though I hinted and tried to point them in the direction of let's look deeper, they weren't hearing me. They weren't hearing me. And some of it didn't turn out well as a result of that. But we don't want any issues to slip through that would spoil your happy new place. So get in-depth information on your inspection report and ask questions. Ask questions of the realtor, ask questions of the inspector. He'll leave all of his information with you so you can do that. Thanks for joining me on the inspection process. And if you have any questions or I can help, let me know. We'll see you again real soon. Linda Hollington, Caldwell Banker Paradise.